What's that phrase? Good things come in small packages? This is definitely the farming simulator iteration of that. Built initially as a bit of practice, what it's actually turned out to be, in my opinion of course, is something really quite special. It's available for you all to download now over on my Discord, so welcome folks to Corner Crook Hill Farm. Hello everyone, I'm FARMERSIM and welcome back to another Your Farm Builds video. Now it's been a little while since I've done one of these, I must admit, so I do apologise for that, but this one landed in my inbox yesterday as a little bit of a surprise, and what a nice surprise it was. Now, this farm build has been done by the legendary farm builder, I suppose legendary in my corner of the farming simulator community, and my good friend KIMERA, and it is really, really quite special if you ask me. Just wait for this truck to get past before I cross over the road. But yeah, this is a really, really special little farm build. Now, you heard me say at the beginning of the video there that this was built as a bit of practice. Now, that might come as a bit of a surprise to those of you who have been around my channel for a while and who do know and have seen the work of my mate KIMERA before. She's no stranger to building farms. She's absolutely incredible at it. The talent is just off the charts, if you ask me. But her forte, I believe you would call it, is more towards the US side of farm builds, big farms with lots of space around. She's built quite a few Euro farms. You know, she's really enjoyed building farms over on Le Maché and the Pichonier Valley, to name a couple of maps. And she was also responsible for my Saxlingham build on my series a wee while back, and that was incredibly popular. It was the farm build. The series was quite popular, but I think the farm build was even more popular. That drew more eyes and attention, and folks over to my Discord and all that kind of stuff, asking for copies of the save game if possible. It was an extremely brilliant farm build. But when it comes to the small scale stuff, it's just not her bread and butter kind of thing, but she's put quite a bit of time into this one. Now, this is a farm build that she's kind of built it and then gone, no, I don't like it, but it's nice, but I feel I can do better, I think. That's where her mind has gone with it. But as a result of that, now I had a look at it and I was like, whoa, 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 hold your horses there, Spartacus. This is something really, really quite special. And it really is. It genuinely is. The use of space that she's made use of is really quite incredible. I think it's a lovely farm. Now, we're on BallySpring. This has come about since the release of BallySpring a few days ago. BallySpring is a beautiful map by Air Agri Modding. I did do a map tour video of it if you're interested to watch that. It's a very, very special map, back for FS25 on from Farming Simulator, from FS22. But it's got a real charm to it, and obviously it's been completely gone over, and it's wonderful, it really is. And Kim has tried her hand at building a nice little small holding here on one of the areas of BallySpring. So yeah, this is Corner Crook Hill Farm, another charming little name, named so, I believe, because it is situated on the corner, on one of this little corner here on the road here, just here. So that's, I'm assuming that's why she's called it Corner Crook Hill Farm. But it's really... Oh, hello, there we go. Bit of traffic. We'll let them lot sort themselves out. Not for me to get involved with there. But yeah, this is a beautiful little farm. Like I said, the use of space that she's sorted out here is really quite something. It's predominantly a dairy farm. We've got the buildings that this farm is made up of is a combination of the BallySpring building pack, of course, that you need to run the map. We've got... the Le Maché building pack by MA7, some Whitcomb Park Farm building pack by Oxygen David, and the Pichonier Valley by Black Sheep Modding. All of those maps and whatnot have their own individual building pack, and I think she's used at least one of each, I think, or one building from each of them. But all of the buildings in those packs have got, they're incredibly detailed. I'm sure most of you will have seen them by now. They're all really, really detailed, and they just, like I've said this a few times before, but the quality of the mods, especially the buildings that we're now seeing with the detailed textures and stuff that we've got in Farming Simulator 25, is just off the charts. It's absolutely mega. We're a spoilt bunch or slot here in the Farm Sim community to be able to have so many incredible mods to choose from. But yeah, so those are the packs that you will need if you want to download this save game. Now, like I said before, it's on my Discord. It will be, we haven't actually figured out a time yet, but because I'm recording this before the event, but I'll have a word with Kim, and I'm assuming we'll probably run the release of this video at the same time as the release of the save game. So yeah, if you are interested in it, head on over to my Discord. The link will be in the video description below, and there you go. Off you go with it, kind of thing. Like I say, you'll just need those building packs. I'll post links to those building packs in the video description below. But yeah, it's not a huge farm, so it's not going to be a particularly long video, but just wanted to showcase it to you, let you know that it's out there for download, and just give a quick have a quick run around it and just show you what it consists of. But yeah, like I say, like I've said several times already, the use of space I think is absolutely brilliant. We've got the dairy barn here with the milking parlour. This is part of the BallySpring building pack. So yeah, you've got the animated milking parlour there just behind the wall. This dairy barn will hold 92 cows in total, and it obviously with its pasture out the back as well. But yeah, I think it's just considering the size of the farm, there's an enormous amount of storage space, and I think that's one of the very, very clever things that Kim has been able to utilise on this, and it feels perfect. For a UK Irish farm, I think it feels absolutely brilliant. But yeah, the use of space and the amount of storage that you've got on here is fabulous. You've got all these big old sheds here, plenty of storage in here, all with lights and stuff. You've got a nice big silage bunker in here. Let me bring up the F1 menu there, but you'll see it's a nice big silage bunker. Again, with a bit of storage around the side. But you've got these lovely lanes that go off to a few of the fields next door as well. Again, that have all been landscaped and painted in and created by Kim. But yeah, it's a fabulous farm, this. And when I've mentioned this a couple of times before, Kim is an actual artist in real life. That's what she does. Puts paint on paper and makes things look pretty, I suppose. But yeah, it's and she takes that artistic talent and brings it to Farm Sim 25, and she spends a lot of time making these farms. She doesn't. Whereas I've in the past, when it comes to building a farm, it's like you just find a plot and go, right, okay, bang, 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 place down a few buildings. Kim, in my opinion, puts a lot more time and effort and thought and creativity into the placement of the buildings and how they feel and how they sit next to each other and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot that goes into these builds of hers, and they're absolutely brilliant. You've got a nice little workshop here for storage. Now, of course, with it being on BallySpring, small and medium equipment at absolute tops, ladies and gentlemen, I feel. Now, there's no equipment on the farm. I haven't populated with any tractors or any equipment whatsoever, because it's not to focus on any kind of equipment. This is to focus on the build itself, and so you can see it in its bare bones state. But I don't know if any of you else are like this, but I see a farm like this. I just look at some of the pictures, and I've had the pleasure of being able to spend a little while now just kind of whizzing around the farm, floating around it, taking cinematic shots and stuff, and it just makes me want to play it. Does anyone else get that? Do you see other people's creations and go, and it just give you the motivation and inspiration to get in the game and play it? Because that's what I get with this. I really do. She posted a couple of images of it over on Discord the other day, and it was like, mate, that's special, and it just makes me really want to play on this map. It really does, and on this farm. But yeah, like I say, loads and loads of storage space. There's plenty to choose from. So like I say, even though it is a very, very small farm compared to most, the use of space and the amount of space that you've got to work with is just brilliant. It really is. So let me close that door without maybe the little bit of leveling I need to do there just to get that out the ground there, but it's all good. So yeah, so you've got loads of sheds, loads of storage, big bunker. You've got a farm silo here to store your grain and your crops, of course. There we go. And you've got another nice big shed here. Lots of nice bits of decoration lying around, of course, just to add a little bit of life in there. That's what a conversation that me and Kim have had a few times over the last few weeks. just about junk lying around on farmyards and such, and why it's there. But it does add... It's quite a common thing, especially in the United Kingdom and over in Ireland. I know that junk lying around on a farm is quite commonplace, especially when it's metal. You know, scrap metal does have quite a value over here. But when it comes to farmers needing to fix their equipment, you know, they keep hold of stuff because it might be useful in the future, and that mindset kind of sticks. And before you know it, after several years of being on a farm, you've got piles and piles of scrap metal left around just to kind of... just in case. Do you know what I mean? But it does add character, doesn't it? Don't you think, ladies and gentlemen? It really does. But yeah, it's a beautifully laid out farm, this. You've got these lanes that kind of run the perimeter so you can access the fields. Considering it's such a small farm, there is, I think, 3 or 4 different entrance points. You've got this gate here that brings you in towards the... I think... trying to consider where I am on the map here, but this is the south end of the farm. I'll show you where we are on the map, actually, very quickly. This is us here, plot 189, just north of BallySpring village there. So yeah, this is where we are. And now, obviously, when you look at it from a PDA point of view, there doesn't seem like there's much going on, does there? And even though the map does have 12 incredibly nicely laid out farms by default, Kim, as obviously being the creative type that she is, has picked a completely separate plot. And now this save game that I've got here now has 13 fully constructed farms on, which is absolutely brilliant. It really is. But yeah, the use of all the different mods, I think, is incredible. The detail that they've got, especially this one with the milking parlour. Now, this cow barn is actually quite a big thing, don't you think? Now, considering it's such a small footprint on the farm, being able to squeeze this thing in as well and make such good use of the space around it, I think is a real talent. It really is. So, yeah. Beautiful farm, beautiful layout. But, like I said, this video isn't necessarily meant to be a particularly long one. It's just meant to for me to create it, show you that it's out here, show you that the save game is over on the Discord for you all to download if you so wish, and I highly recommend you do. BallySpring, I think, is going to be... it's already proving to be extremely popular. And I think it's just going to carry on and carry on. BallySpring in FS25 was an incredibly popular map, and I think it's no different for the FARMERSIM 25 version. So if you all like the idea of getting your hands on a custom farm built by my good friend and legendary farm builder KIMERA, I highly recommend jump on over to my Discord, get it downloaded. There's no MA7 mods or anything on here like that, so you know it's free to for us to create this and turn it for a public download. You've got a farmhouse here. This is, I think this is one of the ones from the new placeables pack from BallySpring. So you've got your sleep trigger there. And that's pretty much all you need. But yeah, there's a few entrance points. You've got this gate here. You've got this one here where we came in at the beginning. You've got a nice shed here with a bit of... I'm pretty sure this has got a workshop, actually. Forgive me. Let me just jump into the settings and turn on my my icons. I never like having the icons turned on for some reason. I don't know. But yeah, there we go. Got yourself a bit of a workshop here to sort your... fix your vehicles, which is pretty decent. You've got your sleep and wardrobe trigger outside the front of the house there. But you've also got a nice little lane that runs down the side to access another field out the back here, which is great. But yeah, like I say, just the use of space. Let me just jump into flight mode and show you from above. I think is absolutely incredible, don't you think? 92 capacity cow barn. You've got a cow pasture, lanes running all the way around the outside. Tons of space for the amount of machinery and equipment that you're going to need to run a farm like this. I think it's a lot of thought has gone into this. It really has. But like I said, you know, I think she's this was one of her first attempts at building a very what we'd consider a small holding here on BallySpring, and I think she's kind of very much like an artist scrunching up the canvas or the paper that they're working on and gone, no, I'm going to do better, I'm going to go again. But she's very kindly sent this my way for me to create this video for this series, and then get it out there for public download and see if any other of you players out there feel the same way that I do about this, because it's just brilliant. It really is. It's a charming little farm, beautifully built, and it's got so much character to it. That's one of the things I really appreciate about a farm build is character and feel, and that is exactly what this has got. One of the things I noticed actually when I was floating around is just the being mindful of the placement of the telegraph poles here that are a part of the map, of course. So she's built she's been able to build, I suppose you would call that a limitation, I guess, really, wouldn't you? Been able to build what she's been able to build on this plot and still consider the placement of the telegraph poles and build around them. So yeah, really, really quite cool. It's excellent. It really is. So yeah, this is Corner Crook Hill Farm, and it is out to download now as a save file over on my Discord. Like I said, you'll need the building pack for La Meche, for the Peshonier Valley, for Whitcomb Park Farm, and of course the ones that you will need for BallySpring, which you'll have anyway if you're running BallySpring. So yeah, there we go. Out for download. Go help yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. The link is in the video description below. So thanks very much for your time. I do hope you have enjoyed this video and found it a little bit fun and a little bit interesting. As always, if you're new to the channel and you've enjoyed this video and you like the way I'm doing things, please consider hitting that subscribe button and jumping on board, joining the channel. Please give the video a like as well if you can. It does do wonders, helps the YouTube algorithm do its thing. And if you like the idea of supporting the channel, there's a couple of ways you can do that. There is my Giants Partner promo code, if any of you are in the market for purchasing FARMERSIM25 or any of its add-ons or DLCs. There's coffee.com if you'd like to buy me a coffee. And there is also my G-Portal affiliate link if any of you are in the market for an online server to play with your mates. Any help and support there, as always, ladies and gentlemen, is massively appreciated. So, thanks again for your time, folks. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.